Hey YouTube, it's Blovshy, a.k.a. Mur Bonn, coming at you with a video. Today's Wednesday, May the 5th, I believe. Oh, wait a minute. It's Tuesday, sorry. Tuesday, May the 5th. Um, I'm making this video because I saw a post by Desiree Marie regarding her log struggles and her school struggles at the time. And I put a comment in this, and it was very lengthy. And I realized I should probably just do a video. I don't think this is coming out right. But in my life, I've struggled with my purpose and my passion. I went to college. Um, I wanted to get a degree in teaching, and I've only got my associates because I didn't want to teach. And since then, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with my life. And it was only recently, during this COVID-19 quarantine, that I had the time to go through my past, go through my youth. Since I was in middle school, I was writing in journals. I have about 6 journals since the time I was in middle school to now. And I do recommend writing in your journal because I see it as a therapeutic process. At the time, I think I was about 12 years old when I got my first journal. I just wrote, "Hey, dear diary, today this happened in school," or some childish stuff I wrote, and I laughed at the times that I was writing it. Looking back now, I'm laughing. I'm like, wow, like there was nothing going on that day, like my favorite color, or I had a crush on so and so, and like little schoolgirl stuff. But it was interesting to see what I wrote down. Even my penmanship improved since then. Um, what I did by going through each journal, I was seeing it more of as a research into my life, a research study of myself. Um, so what I was doing was writing down common themes I found, whether it's good, bad, or really ugly. And those same themes that I was seeing when I was 14, 12, 14, I'm still seeing it today, um, like in my 30s. And I'm like, wow, like some staples remain the same. Like when I was young, I used to collect quarters just because like each state had its own quarter. It was very fascinating to me. It was very pretty to look at. So I collected quarters in a little book. Now I'm collecting bottles, plastic bottles that, like water bottles that I drank in a case. I recycle those that I purchased myself. I continue to recycle them. So I'm like, okay, some things like remain the same in my life, even though I may not have noticed it at the time. Just by writing it down, certain aspects, I'm like, oh, I've done that. Like, that's me. Like, some things that literally can't be erased from, I guess, my DNA. It's like, yo, like, I've been collecting stuff since I was young. Even, um, like, keepsakes, like, stuff I probably should throw away. Um, Not like birthday cards and stuff. I keep those for the most part. But, like, little, stuff to remember things. Like, I saw my college journal. Each page had like a leaf from the tree. Like it was a nice colored leaf, like a red petal or a rose petal or something. At the time I was in college, I was in school on campus. And it must have been during the fall season that I was collecting leaves. And I put it in my journal, put tape over it or plastic wrap over it, and sealed it in my journal. It was a yellow leaf. And to this day, I'm looking in the book and it's like it's still yellow or it's still red or still pink or I'm like, whoa, I was just collecting things. As beautiful as it was, I love flowers. They're beautiful to look at. I have allergies, but those staples are still, even now, my bedspread or my journal, some of my clothing is petals, rose petals. I love even my phone case, the cover, it's a beautiful rose petals or flowers affiliated with that. I'm like, wow, okay. Some staples like remain the same. Um, some of the negatives were, something I don't want to necessarily talk about. So it was more like crushing on this guy or crushing on that guy, just liking, from a distance as a schoolgirl crush and stuff. And I'm like, it seemed like every journal entry was like that. I'm like, yo, what's up with that? So I'm like, those are some things that even now I have to work on. Um, but overall, it was more of getting a process of understanding myself. And like I said, I find it at the time, even now, still writing. Just instead of writing Dear Diary, write Dear Jesus. And have a prayer journal. Like even to write to the Lord when I'm thinking or feeling or just getting my frustrations out or thanking God for blessing me with this, that, or the third. And I thanked Him for having instilled in me to write from a young age, not knowing that at this age now I would need those journal entries to discover myself again. So I thank the Lord for that. So I encourage writing your own journals, because you may need them in the future. If not you, someone else may. So, um, yeah. So regarding my journal entry regarding schooling, I always liked helping people. And like I said, I didn't know what my purpose was. I didn't know what my passion was. And a couple of years ago, about 5 years ago, I wrote down what I wanted to do, or what I believed what was in my heart to do regarding, uh, it was a couple things, like, oh, if I wanted to start a business, or um, going to, at the time I was doing dental assisting work, so I'm like, okay, I could get a degree in that, or, my certificate in that, and then overall my career, I was like, oh, I would like to be a social worker. And I'm like, huh. So I wrote that down. I was like, oh, I did those SMART goals, what's specific, measurable, attainable, um, realistic, and time-wise. And I was like, oh, by this year, next time, I'll be in school for social work and this, that, and it was very specific and measurable and all that. I was like, okay, by the next year, um, I'll do that. So that was 2015 when I wrote that. 2016, I didn't follow through. And the years went on, and here we are, 2020. And as I'm going through my journals, I found that note I had wrote in 2015. I guess I had wrote it down and put it in my journal. I expected to follow through. I didn't follow through. 2020, I'm going through my journal, and I had like saved things just stuffed in between the pages, just a note here or a birthday card there, and whatever was keepsake that I didn't have like a treasure chest or something. I had like a keepsake. It was just my journal. I just put it in between the leaves, and I didn't look back. That journal, I all those things I had just stuffing in the journal. I put those pages, or um, birthday cards, all those cards, envelopes, whatever it was that was stuffing in the pages. I put that in a separate bag because I figure, okay, all that stuff that's filling up this journal, I'm gonna put it off to the side. I'll look at it at another day. because I was still going through each page, each journal. I had 6 journals to go through, so I was going through each page. So I was like, all right, all these stuff that's dipping into the book, I'm just going to put it aside. I'll look at it, a little later. So I finished my journals, and I was, as I was going through my journals, just the written words I had each page, I was writing down what was my patterns, good or bad or ugly or whatever, and I was like, okay, I I see where I want to go in my life, my purpose. I'm always wanting to help people. I'm like, okay, I prayed about it, and the Lord revealed to me that it was in the work of social work. And in my heart, I was like very relieved in that sense, because I'm like, it seemed like my life just gearing towards helping people, helping families. And I was like, okay, so I will go to school for social work. And being in COVID-19 quarantine, this is the opportunity that I have to um, go through this. I can do school online, which is great. Um, so I was also thinking, during this time, while I pursue my career in social work, I can finish a degree that I've wanted to do regarding dental assisting. If anything, if I needed to get another job, I can fall back on that because I would be certified. So I'm like, okay, I have to get a certification for dental assisting. So I'm like, all right, I bought the book. I'm like, okay, I can do that because I know I've been skilled in that, had work experience in that, so I can pursue um, that certification, and I feel encouraged to do so and motivated to do so. So I'm like, all right, I could do that first and then go into social work. Okay. So then I looked in that bag that I had with all those papers that were throughout my journal, just stuffed and kept and all that. As I went through it, there was one, it was a folded sheet, blank sheet that had written on, the date said I think July 15th, 2015. And it had a checklist, like a to-do list. Um, it said start a business or go into cosmetology school. I crossed out the cosmetology or exit out at the time, and it said dental assisting, going for a certification. And that was kind of X'd out, but then in a little section it was like um, need to complete degree by, or it was something. Hold on one second. So here's the paper that I had. It was 2015 time frame. I just wrote like a checklist, and yeah, I got my defense driving, and the next one was dental assisting. You see the little box there? It says complete. What's it? Complete dental assisting or continued dental assisting or not. So I still had hope for that one, even though I had kind of crossed it out, but I still had hope for that one there. And next one was number 3, cosmetology. I was like, not really, because I'm only interested in doing my hair. So 3, entrepreneur, start a business, or what was it, mixing shea butter or something, or lotion. That was still open. What was that? Growing my locks, growing dreads. Check that off. That's what I completed, so I did that. These were something I was doing for like church. Okay, mission accomplished. I checked that off. Last but not least, down here, number 5, social work degree. Go back to school in the process or completed. Those are the boxes that I were to check once I've followed through with this 2015, y'all. I'm like, yo, we're in 2020, and I still have currently the same aspirations that I did in 2015. If I didn't write it down, if I didn't put pen to paper and write it down, I probably would not be sure that who I am now is who I was then, with the same goals that I had then and now. So all that to say, I encourage you to write. I didn't know how important it was until I needed it. My own words on paper, in a book, in a journal, just writing how I feel. And it means so much more to me now that I needed it to help me process me, research me, study me through God. Because with Him, all things are possible. And like to have it written down, it makes all the difference. Because I'm like, all right, Lord, you showed me who I was then. You're still showing me who I am now. And I'm grateful for Him for that. And it's a relief to know that I'm on the right track. It's a relief. Because it could have been ups and downs, mistakes made here and there. But I'm glad that He was able to have me process through myself, understanding who I am in Him. He's amazing, because I came to the same conclusion. That's what gets me. So I'm like, this is confirmation for myself. Just, I don't know. Be you. For those who don't know who you are, find out who you are. Develop a relationship with God. Find out who you are. I would say only you know, because deep down you know who you are. If you need to write out the patterns of your life, the good, the bad, the ugly, if you need to do that, do that. Pray and seek Him, because He would give you remembrance. He would give you remembrance to the things that happen in your life. Like I said, good, bad, ugly, because all of that shaped who you are today. That you were able to develop who you've become. Alright, YouTube. That is all for now. I hope that you have a blessed day. Until next time, take care and God bless. Bye.